talk about synchronous versus asynchronous communication. The fact that we can spend time here at the top of South Mountain, you can see there's the airport here, there's a few more miles of trails, is because most of the work that I do is not synchronous. Synchronous means we need to talk right now. It's worth an interruption. You hit me up on Messenger, we have a scheduled meeting. When you have time that requires you to actually be there present live with someone else, that's the most expensive time. It easily costs 10 times more than asynchronous time. When you divide your work into synchronous, where you have to actually be there because it's a decision, because it's something that you have to discipline somebody, so you can't do it via email, but you have to be live, versus asynchronous, where you can do it when you're most efficient. You can go through a list of tasks, you can go through your email, you can go study things or think about things and come back when you're ready, as opposed to trying to do something on the spot. That's when you free up the value of your time. You see the airport over here, you've got planes that are taking off. And when I worked in American Airlines, we had a control center. We had 2,000 flights a day where we'd be able to see real time all the different flights that were going. So sometimes you'd have a problem with aircraft, sometimes it'd be a weather problem, sometimes you'd have flight attendants that don't show up, and those require you to deal with situations that are in real time. But imagine, of the things that are urgent versus important, what really do you have to take care of right now? Of all the different things that are interrupting you, it could be like what Brian Solis talks about in Life Scale. Which of those things that are constantly distracting you real time right now do you actually need to pay attention to because they're urgent, but maybe they're not very important? And I challenge you that if you can eliminate those kinds of distractions that appear urgent but actually are not 911s, then you're going to get value in your time. You're going to be able to have those blocks of time that are 2 or 3 hours long where you can go escape into nature, where you can work on that key project, where you can focus on something without being interrupted every few seconds. The reason I bring up this airport analogy is that you see that plane that's taking off right there? I can't see what, it's a little bit dark, but I'm gonna guess it's Southwest Airlines. When you're able to get to cruise altitude, 38,000 feet, you're able to go at 585 miles per hour, and that's when you're just basically sipping on fuel, you get maximum efficiency. But the minute you have an interruption, you are back down onto the tarmac and you have to start over and take off, get back up to cruise altitude again. That's going to cost you 30 minutes. Sometimes it'll cost you a couple hours. Think about the cost of that kind of interruption. You want to be in cruise altitude as much as possible. So eliminate those kinds of distractions. Don't let people bother you all the time. A lot of people hit me up and say, oh, I just need you just for a second, just a minute. It's convenient for them, but it's a huge distraction for me because I got to stop what I'm doing, answer their thing, which only took a minute, and then let me figure out where I was, get back to where I was. I lost half an hour trying to get back up to cruise altitude. So think about how many times you're interrupted per day. It may be that you're interrupted so many times, you're auto-distracted so many times, you don't even know what it's like to be able to fly at cruise altitude. So manage those kinds of distractions, manage those things that are killing your time, and you'll find that when you can squeeze down distractions, the time that you do have, you can focus on things that are important, that actually move the needle instead of just being busy. And then you'll really be able to enjoy your time at the end of the day, say, end of today, say, I got some stuff done, versus I was just moving around, but I didn't really get anything done. So there you are.